The draft room is electric, and the San Francisco 49ers just flipped the script on their entire strategy. General Manager John Lynch and head coach Kyle Shanahan finally channeled the legendary Bill Walsh by abandoning the urge to reach for talent and instead mastering the art of the trade down. By prioritizing historical wisdom over draft day ego, the organization has positioned itself to fortify a roster that desperately needs new, foundational talent to chase another championship.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Meanwhile, the mystery surrounding backup quarterback Mac Jones is officially coming to a close. After months of rampant trade speculation and rumors linking him to teams like the New York Jets and Minnesota Vikings, Coach Kyle Shanahan has made it clear he expects Jones to remain in San Francisco for the 2026 season. The front office appears to have accepted the reality that his trade value has shifted, effectively ending the search for a new home for the signal caller for now. It was a night of historic movement for the franchise, as the 49ers made two rapid-fire trades to exit the first round entirely. By swapping picks with the Miami Dolphins and then the New York Jets, John Lynch has successfully manufactured extra draft capital to fill holes left by previous high-stakes maneuvers for players like Brian Robinson Jr. and Osa Odighizuwa. It is the first time in 38 years that San Francisco has executed such a bold maneuver on day one of the draft. The phone lines are staying hot in Santa Clara because the team is reportedly very open to trading down once again from the coveted 33rd overall pick. With Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch both signaling that they are happy to continue wheeling and dealing to maximize their draft board, the excitement for what comes next is at an all-time high. Stay in the loop with all the latest developments by hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and ringing the bell for instant updates. Ever wonder if an NFL front office can actually learn from its past? For years, the San Francisco 49ers have been a lightning rod for debate. Sure, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have had their share of hits, but for every success, there's that nagging memory of the Trey Lance trade-up or the head-scratching reach for Ricky Pearsall last year, a move that honestly felt like they were drafting for need rather than value. It's been frustrating, especially when you consider that a simple trade down could have yielded so much more. /N/N, but Thursday night, that felt different. It felt like a nod to the legendary Bill Walsh. You remember 1986, right? When Walsh went on a trade frenzy, dealing 6 times to stack the roster with foundational pieces like Charles Haley and John Taylor. That wasn't just a draft. That was a masterclass in roster building. For years, I've been begging the Niners to channel that same energy. /N sitting at number 27, with the board thinning out and the usual suspects being snatched up by rival teams, the pressure was mounting. Most of us expected a panic pick, another reach that would leave us scratching our heads by Friday morning. But they didn't. Instead, Lynch actually pulled the trigger, moved back, and stacked extra draft capital. It was surgical. It was smart. And most importantly, it gave the team the flexibility an aging roster desperately needs. /N by giving themselves more chips at the table, the 49ers have officially set the stage for a massive day 2. It turns out, history isn't just something to look back on. If you play your cards right, it's a blueprint for the future. Do you think this strategic shift is the key to finally getting them over the championship hump? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss our breakdown of day 2. After all, championships are built on picks, not just on hype. Ever felt like the entire world was convinced of a trade that never actually materialized? That's exactly the story of the San Francisco 49ers and Mac Jones this offseason. While the rumor mill was churning at full speed, connecting Jones to just about every team with a quarterback vacancy, the reality on the ground tells a much quieter story. As the first round of the 2026 NFL Draft wrapped up, Kyle Shanahan made it crystal clear. He's fully settled into the idea that Jones is staying put. When asked about the possibility of a move, Shanahan didn't mince words, admitting he would be genuinely surprised if Jones isn't suiting up in red and gold this season. It's an interesting spot to be in, especially considering how well Jones performed when filling in for Brock Purdy last year. Going 5-3 as a starter while dealing with an injury-riddled depth chart isn't just decent, it's a resume builder. And with a contract that's incredibly team-friendly, you'd think the phones would be ringing off the hook, right? Well, teams like the Jets, Vikings, Falcons, and Cardinals clearly thought otherwise, opting to go in completely different directions. Even the buzz around the Steelers seems to be dying down as they lean into the Aaron Rodgers era. The truth is, the disconnect between market value and asking price is likely the culprit here. Reports suggested the Niners were looking for more than a second-round pick, a steep ask for a backup, no matter how capable he is. Shanahan himself hinted that if no one stepped up during the draft, it's unlikely they'll pull the trigger later, noting that the window for maximum value has probably already closed. Of course, in the NFL, one unfortunate training camp injury can change everything in a heartbeat. But for now, this marriage of convenience is set to continue through the 2026 campaign. What do you think? Are the Niners holding onto a valuable insurance policy, or are they missing out on a chance to cash in? Drop your take in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and remember, in the NFL, until the ink dries, anything can happen. Have you ever seen a team completely rewrite their own draft playbook in real time? For 38 years, the San Francisco 49ers stood firm. But this year, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan threw the script out the window. For the first time in their decade-long tenure, the Niners pulled a disappearing act on the first round of the NFL draft, trading their way right out of the opening night entirely. It started with a shuffle with the Dolphins, moving from 27 down to 30, but they weren't finished. Once they reached the 30th spot, they pulled the trigger again, dealing the pick to the Jets to land the very first selection of the second round and an extra fifth-rounder. This isn't just a move, it's a statement about how they value depth over star power. You have to look at the context here. Lynch essentially telegraphed this move days ago, noting that with only 6 picks on the board, they needed to get creative to replenish their war chest. When you consider the aggressive maneuvers they've made in previous years, trading away massive capital for players like Trey Lance or burning sixth-rounders on mid-season acquisitions, this shift toward accumulating draft equity feels like a calculated correction. We're used to seeing the 49ers mortgage the future to move up, not trade back to accumulate volume, but maybe that's exactly what a roster at this stage of contention needs. So, what do you think? Is this the smartest way to build a championship roster, or are they playing it too safe? Drop a comment below with your take, smash that like button, and subscribe for more deep dives into the draft madness. Ever feel like the smartest guy in the room is the one who keeps folding their hand until the pot is just right? That's exactly the game the San Francisco 49ers are playing right now in the NFL draft. While everyone else is obsessed with the glitz and glamour of the first round, the Niners are effectively playing 4D chess, and they're not done yet. According to insider Jordan Schultz, San Francisco is officially very open to trading down from the 33rd overall pick. Think about that for a second. They just acquired this spot from the Jets, and they're already looking to leverage it into even more draft capital. This isn't panic. It's a calculated strategy that echoes their approach in 2022 and 2023. We've already seen them move down from 27 with the Dolphins, and now they're sitting on what GM John Lynch calls a coveted pick at the top of the second round. Head coach Kyle Shanahan was surprisingly candid about the whole thing, admitting that this back-and-forth wheeling and dealing was the plan all along. It's a fascinating look into the modern front office mindset. If your guys aren't on the board, don't reach, trade back, stack your assets, and keep the flexibility high. Lynch and Shanahan are clearly prioritizing depth and volume over one singular, high-pressure selection, proving once again that in the NFL, you don't always need a blue-chip first-rounder to build a championship roster. But the big question remains, will they find a suitor willing to pay the price for that 33rd slot, or will they finally pull the trigger on a prospect they've been eyeing all along? We'll be tracking every move, so make sure you're following NFL trade rumors on X and Facebook to stay ahead of the curve. Do you think the Niners are playing it smart by trading down, or are they getting too cute for their own good? Sound off in the comments below, And let's see if this masterclass in draft maneuvering actually pays off on the field.